Welcome to Crosstalk Solutions. My name's Chris, and today we are taking a look at the UniFi Protect Camera AI 360. This is the first 360 camera that has come out for UniFi Protect. And by 360 camera, I mean this has a 1920 by 1920 square resolution that basically looks top down. So this camera is basically made for, like a retail store or near your cash registers, something like that, where you have it on the ceiling and it has a nice 360-degree view of whatever is directly below the camera. So let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box. I have not played with one of these cameras yet, so I'm really looking forward to this. It is a 5-megapixel camera. Again, the resolution is 1920 by 1920. It captures video at 30 frames per second. And it is also PTZ, or pan tilt zoom, which I don't know exactly how that works with a 360 camera, but we'll get this thing adopted into Protect and check that out. So it does have a 360-degree fisheye lens, but in addition to that, ooh, look at this thing. Wow, this is super cool. Oh, it's kind of hefty too. But in addition to the 360-degree lens, this camera is also IPX4 weather resistant, meaning that it can withstand water splashing from any direction. And it is also IK08 tamper-proof, which basically means that it can withstand a force of 5 joules, which is the equivalent of a 1.7 kilogram weight being dropped on it from 300 millimeters above. So the camera is powered by 802.3 AF PoE, and there really isn't a ton to it. You can see there is the network in, or the PoE in, to power up the camera. There's a little reset switch. There's a rubber grommet that helps keep it weatherproof and weather tight. And then you have a cable channel that runs around here in case you want to, have the cable coming out this side of the camera. Let's see what else comes inside the box. We have our quick start guide. We have our mounting template that has a built-in level. And then this looks like a different lens. So this cover here can unscrew somehow. Oh yeah, look at that, there it goes. So it's coming up as I unscrew it. There we go. So this one can come off, and then you can alternatively put this one in place. And I'm not really sure the differences between these two, but I will certainly check it out. Now this piece is interesting. I'm not sure exactly what this is. This is like a glossy rubber on the underside. It's got a dome shape, like as if it's supposed to, meant to go over this dome. Oh, you know what this is? I know exactly what this is. This is a specialized wrench for taking this piece off, right? So look, this is like on there tight. I bet you use this to grip it. Yeah, there you go, and then you can unscrew it. Oh wow, and it like even sticks a little bit. I was wondering what the heck this thing was, but that's it. It's kind of like a specialized wrench for getting this little bubble dome lens cover in place. So I'm gonna put it all the way down and give it a little tightening here. There we go. And then besides that, we've got a mounting bracket. It looks like a couple different mounting brackets and then a screw kit. All right, so next step is to get this camera adopted into Protect, and then we're gonna test it out. I will actually mount it somewhere, and then we can check out the top-down view. Let's get the AI 360 adopted into UniFi. To do that, I'm just going to plug it into 802.3 AF PoE off of my UniFi switch. And I have Protect up on my screen. This camera should pop up automatically, but if it doesn't, we can always add it manually. Let's just give it a minute to see if it happens on its own. All right, so I actually just got a notification on my phone. UVC AI 360 has been detected. So let's go ahead and click on our devices. And here we have it right here. So pending adoption, we're just going to click on it and say Adopt Device. We hear a chime on the camera, and at this point it should adopt and then update to the latest camera firmware based on the version of UniFi that I'm running. The AI 360 actually took quite a while to update. I haven't seen a camera take this long. It was probably about 5 or 6 minutes total to update, but it has updated successfully. I see a blue LED indicating that it is online. And yeah, let's take a look at this camera's settings. So here's the preview of the camera itself. Oh, that's in 720. Let me make that a little bit better. Notice the resolution is square, right? It's a 1920 by 1920 resolution. It's square because it's a 360-degree fisheye view. Let's put this into 1080p. See if we have any options. De-warp video. Oh, look at this. So this is where we can sort of look around at different areas of the screen. That's pretty neat. You guys can see my ceiling with my lighting and all that sort of good stuff. Let's click on warp video again, get this fisheye view once more. We can take a screenshot. Let's look at the settings. I don't see anything in the settings beyond what you would get with any of the other cameras. Okay, click on recording. So it's set to always record. Recording quality is set to maximum. Now this has motion detection, but I don't see any sort of smart detection. I just see motion detection and motion zones. We don't get the smart detection stuff like we do in the other cameras, which is interesting because I thought that this did smart detection. Maybe I have to enable that. Let's look around a little bit more. Overlay information, let's put the time, the camera name, let's get rid of the logo and apply those changes. So here we go. So now, for some reason, I clicked off of the camera and then I clicked back onto it, and now we have smart detection. So person detection as well as vehicle detection, and then we have our smart detection zones, which, by the way, I just found out. So this UNVR had an issue where it stopped doing the smart detection, and there is a way to fix that. It would do motion detection, but it wouldn't do vehicle detection, and it wouldn't do person detection any longer. So the way to fix that is to come in here to the Configure Smart Detection Zones, add a new zone. We'll just call this SD Zone for Smart Detection Zone. I'm going to bump up the sensitivity to about 80, and then we're going to select both person and vehicle detection, and then we need to expand the zone to cover the entire view of the camera. Save that, and now delete the default detection zone and save again. And once I did that, the smart detection started working once more. All right, so again, not much to this camera. You know what? While I have it in this view, let me try one other thing. I do want to see if there's any difference between the view with this little bubble lens versus the other lens that comes with the camera. So this does say, built for the outdoors, a weather-resistant and IK08 rated vandal-proof enclosure optimizes outdoor durability. So it looks like it probably wouldn't change the view of the fisheye lens at all, but it is essentially this part, this lens cover that you put on, that's sort of like this smaller bubble dome as opposed to the other one, which is this one here. This is for the IK08 vandal resistance, apparently. So again, I'm going to try to see if it makes the picture look any different, but it probably won't. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick screenshot here. Okay, I'm going to use the included tool. We're going to take off this dome cover, and we're going to put on the one that actually came installed on the camera when we got it. See if I can clean that off a little bit. Oh, there we go. I kicked it into night mode. And come on, kick back. There we go. Okay, so, and now let's look at these side by side. So here's the screenshot that I took right before I changed it. And yeah, to me, they look to be almost exactly the same. Now, I'm going to go ahead and install this in my garage. I don't need the vandal protection in my garage, so I'm just going to leave on this standard bubble dome. But that's the next step. Let's get this put up high on a ceiling so that we can actually use it kind of in production, where I can keep an eye on my car while it's parked in the garage. AI 360 has been installed, and so far I've got to say I am really loving this camera. Let's take a look. Here I am in UniFi Protect. If I click on the AI 360, I can bring up the camera here. Let me make this bigger. And here we have the de-warped view from the camera itself. Now if I click here, I can actually use the arrow keys or the mouse to sort of move the view around anywhere that I like. If I want to look up here or around here, you can see all the messy parts of my garage. Or you can just go back to the standard sort of warped view, which looks like this. Now this works not only for live viewing the camera, but also for playback. So here we have a video from last night as I was cleaning up after I had finished with the camera installation. If I de-warp the video, again, we can use the arrow keys and you can kind of follow a subject using these arrow keys even though the footage has already been shot. And again, you can kind of make it, oh, there I am chugging the rest of my beer. And you can kind of just make it go wherever you like, which is really neat. Or I can come over here and look at something that's totally different than the main subject of the footage that was captured. So that's really, really cool. Now if you go to the live view and you want to set up a specific live view, you can zoom in here and then kind of do the same thing. Click this move button up in the upper left, and then you can move the live view around to look at whatever you want to look at. So say I leave it like that, I can turn move off and then zoom back out, and now that is the view that we're getting in the live view. There are some limitations, however. So number one, you see that this is the 4-camera view. If I switch to a different live view, so say this one here, notice it has the same sort of orientation of the de-warped video that I did previously. Now if I click and open this up and I click move again and I sort of move it around somewhere else, then I go back to the other live view. The other live view picks up where the first live view left off, right? So no matter where you have the non-warped view pointing, whatever direction you're looking at, that's going to be across all of your live views. So it would be nice if the live views had the ability to have different preset angles per live view. Another limitation that I found is that if you are using the viewport, there is no de-warped view on the viewport. So if I open this up and I set it like this and I close it back down, this is what this view looks like on the viewport, no matter what it looks like in UniFi Protect when I'm browsing it through the GUI. So again, seems like just some software limitations as to how it's been implemented initially. Hopefully that's stuff that they will get fixed. It would be great if whatever view you have it on in the live view also displays on the corresponding viewport, because you don't always want to look at this sort of warped circle view on the viewport all the time. All in all, though, I really love this camera. $299 from Ubiquiti for the AI 360. What do you guys think about this camera? Are you going to buy one? Where would you use it? I can see this being used in like a mechanic's shop or a mechanic's garage. I can see it being used in any sort of retail store. It's just a really, really great camera for those type of environments where you might need to catch a very wide field of view from the top down. Alright, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please click subscribe. My name's Chris with Crosstalk Solutions, and thank you so much for watching.